You're watching Cable 2.
We are excited this evening to welcome and swear in new board members. This process happens before our official meeting is called to order. And tonight we are excited to welcome all of our new folks and our returning folks with their families this evening. We also are most grateful to the Honorable Judge Burke for being here to do the oath of office. As each, they will take the oath of office together, but we'll call their names separately, and then each of them have to sign their oath of office. They'll pick up their nameplates and then take their seats before we open the meeting formally. So welcome family and friends. We're all glad that you can be here this evening.
To Dr. Emery, the chair, co-chair, board members, to the Winston-Salem County School Systems Administration, staff, family, friends, and guests. I was honored when I was contacted by the school board's attorney, Ms. Dionne Jenkins, and asked if I would participate in this historical occasion and administer the oath. I feel privileged to be able to do this, as I feel privileged to represent citizens of the state of North Carolina as a Superior Court judge. Additionally, it gives me a greater sense of pride in that my wife is counted amongst these members, being newly elected. Now, I'm not going to pretend why I was asked to do this. Because under any other occasion, knowing that this is an all-ladies board, I would have deferred to another judge if I'd even been asked. But in that I am here, I'm happy to be here. And a lot of people want to think that the struggle is over, but when it comes to gender equality, racial equality, it's not always over. And I'm proud of these ladies, and I want you to continue to do what you have done to get to where you are today. Now, I'm talking a lot, and I'm going to tell you why I'm talking a lot. Because if you want something said, you ask a man. If you want something done, you ask a woman. There are 9 women here, a whole lot about to be done. That quote is from a famous leader of Great Britain, England, the Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher. Now, I'm going to begin the oath to try to make it as personal as possible, in that I'm going to ask you to state I and then state your name. I will begin to the left and then down to the right. When I say I and state your name, each of you will be able to announce your name one at a time, and then we will continue with the oath as you repeat after me. You'll be able to affirm if you prefer not to swear upon the Bible, and if you choose not to swear upon the Bible, at the end of both paragraphs of the oath, it says, "So help me God." You will not, it is not necessary that you repeat those words in the oath. I, and state your name.
I, Andrea Bramer.
And yes, if you will place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and if you affirm, just raise your right hand. So I, and state your name.
I, Andrea Bramer.
I, Barbara Haynes Burke.
I, Elijah Calvert Hayes.
I, Lori Goins Clark.
I, Leah Crowley.
I, Dana Caldwell Jones.
I, Deanna Kaplan.
I, Elizabeth Monsignor.
I, Maurice
do solemnly and sincerely swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, and that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability. So help me God. I, and state your name,
I, Barbara Hainsford.
I, Loretta Calvert Hayes.
I, Lori Goins Clark.
I, Leah Crowley.
I, Dana Caldwell Jones.
I, Deanna Kaplan.
I, Elizabeth Montaner. I, Alicia Woodbury.
do further swear or affirm that I will well and truly execute the duties of the office of a member of the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Board of Education, according to the best of my skill and ability, according to law, so help me God. Congratulations.
Taller than I remember from last time. You tell me we were all blending together, Chris, if you...
Yeah, and the only thing is, so what will show next is what shows up there.
If they do a presentation, it'll be here, so you'll be looking at the screen.
Some places it's easy to type, some places it's not.
What? Nothing. It's all good.
Is that what we should be used to? She's a feisty. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell. That's yeah. We got the same. All right, let's get going. Look at Marilyn Parker. She's cute about that. Hey, Laura, did you see Marilyn? Did you see her over here now? She's over here. She's funny. I love her. She was great.
Good evening, folks. It's my privilege once a year to open and chair this organizational meeting of the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Board of Education. At this time, I will call the Board of Education meeting to order. Would like to welcome all of these newly sworn in and returning board members and all of you who are here to support them. Also tonight, your newly seated board asked me to be sure that we took a moment to say thank you to our incredible operations staff. No surprise to any of you that we have had a monumental weather event in the last few days, and we have teams and crews from maintenance, operations, as well as transportation who have been working round the clock since Sunday. And this board would like to formally express their thanks and to say that at some point we will do something more formal to thank them because most of them are out working now. But we wanted to be on the record as saying thank you. And now if you'll join me for the pledge and the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father God, we ask your blessing on this house tonight. We are so grateful for the opportunity to serve 54,000 children who depend on us, 7,000 staff members who give their all and passion daily, and a community that supports us. I ask your blessing on each of these board members tonight. Their hearts are all about the same thing. Whether they share the same political affiliation or viewpoint doesn't matter now. They serve the children of this community. Lord, we ask you to give us wisdom, grace, and peace tonight as we do your work. Amen. We hope you'll stay, but we also don't want anyone who needs to leave to feel they can't. I know some of you came just for the swearing in, so our board also wanted you to know they will not be offended if you have other plans or need to leave. At this time, we will elect a chair of the Board of Education, and our board has asked me just to review with you that we follow Robert's Rules of Order to elect a chair. So we will open the floor for nominations, and any board member can nominate someone for chair. I will then call on a vote in the order in which those nominations are made, and the first person to have a majority vote will become the chair. We have prepared for this, so you will see a little moving around once we elect a chair and a vice chair so that they can be in the center of our seating arrangement here. But we are pleased to be able to do this. Once a chair is elected, my short time as chair expires, and I will gladly turn the duties of the board chair over to the person who is duly elected to elect a vice chair. So at this time, it is my pleasure to open the floor for nominations for chair. Ms. Kaplan?
Dr. Goodway, it would be my pleasure to nominate Shay Woodbury for chair.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Ms. Motzinger?
I am nominating Dana Cottle-Jones for chair. This is the time also for me to add comments as to why I'm making that choice. Dana has served our district well, and I don't believe that the chairmanship should go to somebody who is brand new to the board. I think it is important to learn the district well. I think it's important to build relationships. I think it's important to know what the scope of our district is before one becomes chairman. I would also like to say that anybody who knows me knows I am a very dedicated and loyal Democrat. I started working on campaigns in middle school, and I love my party, but I love this district more. And I believe that the district is best served by having a chair who is experienced and who knows the district. Every member of this board has an equal vote. A lot of the way boards work best is by being able to count those votes. And so excuse me, I'm speaking. And that is why I support Dana Cottle-Jones this evening.
Do we have any other nominations for chair?
No, I don't have another nomination, but I'd like to speak on behalf of my support for Dana Jones as well. This is the time to do that when we speak in support of people during nominations, so if you'll allow me. We have two choices tonight. One is for a leader who, among many things, is inexperienced. This board member who would be chair waited until yesterday to reach out to me at all, though the election was November the 6th. I find that odd, and it does not bode well for communications, as I have worked very hard as a board member these last 4 years, and I feel like I have some things to offer. After all, the chair of the board must hear opinions and be a consensus seeker and a bridge builder. She would not have asked Dana to contact me, she shouldn't have, and Ms. Motzinger to inform us of who would be chair after tonight. If she doesn't have time for that, then how in the world will she have time to do the arduous work of the board chair? I don't know much about Ms. Woodbury, but based upon today's knowledge of her, I can't support her in good conscience to lead this board. The other choice tonight is for a proven leader who for 4 years has been most likely the hardest working board member and chair this district has ever seen. I have watched Dana lead with thoughtfulness and inclusion such that every person's voice is heard, no matter the issue or the ideology, and in meetings where it was just not the board, but community groups and legislators alike. Dana kept our student-centered core values in the forefront always, and she does not operate with a personal agenda. Dana understood her role as the chair. She was not to be the loudest voice in the room, but to bring all ideas forward and to encourage all voices to speak. She understood and gave heart and soul to the role of being the chair. She understood that she needed good relationships with all board members, and she worked hard to make that happen from the start. Dana was a great liaison and always brought greetings on behalf of the entire board. She is skilled at thinking about the myriad of possibilities the board should consider on any issue. She effectively handles people who overstep their bounds. She has district staff who have witnessed her work, and many of them would like to continue to see her in leadership. She's led by a desire to do good things for all students in every school and to serve parents and community and teachers across this entire county. In conclusion, she's shown herself willing to go way and above the duties of chair, such that it will be impossible, I think, for any chair who follows her to reach the bar she has set. In this time of transition, it would be wise of this board to consider choosing stability and proven leadership and a person who is honest and operates with integrity. That's why I'll be supporting Dana Jones for chair. Thank you.
Do we have any other nominations for chair or comments? I do also want to say to folks in the audience that by Robert's rules, the only time board members have the opportunity to make comments is during the nomination period. This is not handled as a motion. So once we close this nomination period, we go straight to a vote, and people vote only for. There's no opposing vote taken, and we go through these candidates until we have a majority vote. And so this is the only opportunity board members have to make comments is during this open period of nomination. It is not like a motion is on the floor. So if you will just be a little patient and let us get through this, we'll close nominations and get on with the business. Anybody else? I'm going to officially close the nomination period then. We're good? Thank you. So our first nomination from Ms. Kaplan was for Malashay Woodbury. All in favor of Ms. Woodbury for chair, please raise your hand. So official, congratulations. And we are now officially going to turn the meeting over to Chair Woodbury.
There you go. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Very kind. I know.
I need to take a breath. Thank you all so much. Just thank you so much to this community. I just want to take this time to say that, but I also know that I need to progress with the business of the Winston-Salem-Forsyth County School Board. So that's what I'm about to do. I would like to thank all of the school board members here and Dr. Emery for the service that they have done and that we are going to continue to do. I will now open the floor for nominations for the position for vice chairperson. Andrea? I'm sorry, board member Bramer.
Yes. I nominate Barbara Burke for vice chair.
Barbara Burke for vice chairperson. Are there any other nominations? Well, I will close the nominations for vice chair and take the vote. All those in favor for Barbara Burke, please raise your hand. By way of Robert rules, because there was not a unanimous vote, the chair does have to ask for the opposed. Okay, we don't. Okay, thank you. All right. Well, we will have, since we had a majority vote, of course, Barbara Burke is now the elected vice chairperson. Congratulations, Board Member Burke. The next order of business is the agenda review. And I think, Dr. Emery, you had some adjustments.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, we are asking to remove the first item, which is a discussion item 6B, the contract from TNTP for Forest Park Elementary School based on questions, and in order to give enough time for this board to get answers to those questions. That would also affect action item 7. So both of those removed with the goal of having them back for you by the first January board meeting.
So in consideration of Dr. Emery's request to adjust the agenda, may I have a motion to approve the agenda? Okay. Is there a second? Okay. It has been moved by Board Member Kaplan and second by Board Member, okay, thank you. And it has been seconded by Board Member Burke to approve the agenda with the adjustments to remove the discussion and consideration of approval of the TNTP contract. Is there any discussion? Okay. If all those in favor, raise your hand. Okay, thank you. So this is the portion of the meeting where we have public comments on specific agenda items. And I would just like to first say, before we have members of the public come up, recognize that although we may not have any reply or comment from the board, it's by way of course, open meeting law. So that's why we may not, of course, have any reply back to you. But I am asking that those of us who serve Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools as employees be very attentive to what is said, so that hopefully you may be able to reply or respond to those who come up if there is a specific issue that we can assist them with. We are, of course, taking an advisement from our board counsel, Dion Jenkins, that we continue with this, continue the way that we have done as it relates to how the school board replies to any discussion from the public. But as I have talked to the board attorney, we will see how we can adjust so that if board members do want to have some reply to a discussion by way of the public, that we can do so. But for tonight, if you would just bear with us, we're going to continue business as usual. So with that being said, I do want to sort of reiterate the rules by way of public comments on the agenda items. Just know that we will call you as you have, of course, signed up to be heard on the specific public comments on the agenda items. You will have up to 3 minutes, and I think there you will see screens that will kind of help you to keep your time for the 3 minutes. And of course, we will try to help you to move as quickly as possible with your comments if need be. But please recognize that we have 3 minutes for your comments. So the first person that we have is Al Jabbar, if you will come up. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Jabbar, you are coming on behalf of Action for Equity, and you want to have comments regarding the election and chair?
That's right.
Yes.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure for me to stand before this historic board. We have waited a long time for this. I want to ask the new board if you would look at some of the things that has been brought forth that you're aware of, that we can hopefully move forward on in 2019. Just want to say congratulations. I know that looking from the audience, it reminds me somewhat of when we played sports and we had to elect captains. And I watched kids where they elected a black to be the captain of the team. But they changed the rules so that they could elect a white guy to be the captain of the team. I saw a little bit of that tonight. So I want to come and say, Chairperson Woodbury, Co-Chair Burke, you got it in your hands.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Alfred Harvey. Mr. Harvey, if you could let us know specifically to what agenda item, I don't have it here, so that we're all sure.
I'm speaking on the election of chair.
Okay, yes, sir.
I want to say good evening,
Good evening.
Chairman Woodbury, this distinguished board, Dr. Emery. I just heard Mr. Jabbar briefly allude to something that I woke up this morning thinking about. I was thinking about a time in 1968, just a few hundred yards to my right. It was a school, North Forsyth Senior High School. A group of students elected a homecoming queen, only to have that homecoming election invalidated because the white girl did not win. The black girl won. And so I came here tonight and I prayed all the way coming down 52. I said, Lord, please don't let this happen again. I said, this is a historic board and we should make history. We've never had an all-female board. We've never had a black chair of this board. I've been coming to so many of these meetings. I remember when I thought I saw her earlier here, Ms. Jane Goins was on this board. When she first came and ran for this board, I was there. And I didn't want that to happen again because I wanted our city and this county to rise above partisanship and racism. I've asked this board time and time again to rise above their partisan ways because we have the business of the people to do here in Forsyth County. And we have a business of educating all of our kids. I have 3 daughters. Boy, I can go home tonight. I'm going to call all those that are out of town and all those that are in town. We're going to have a party. We really are. Because as Judge Burke said, want to get something done, another woman. I know about that because I'm in the house with nothing but women. And so all I do is say, okay, what about this? And then they'll do it. But I am so happy today that those of you that had the courage to vote the correct way, not the way of partisanship, but the correct way. Because this board was elected because people wanted new ideas, a new and fresh approach. And I hope that we can get that from this board. Because those stale, staid ideas, this goes to show you, I looked around on the elevator, and those figures that you had on there, 10% decline in achievement gap, you took that down because we did not succeed. I'm hoping that this board rises to the occasion, and you don't have to worry about it. I will be back.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Rhonda May's name is on here, but maybe you're not speaking now. I think maybe it was scratched out, but I just wanted to confirm that you were not going to speak during this time. Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure. So this concludes our public comment period on agenda items. The next order of business is the discussion items. At this time, I will recognize Kevin Sherrill for a discussion regarding the Verizon Innovation Learning Grant.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair Woodbury and School Board and Dr. Emery.
Good evening.
We are excited to bring you an overview tonight of a program that our district has been elected to participate in. It's a national program called the Verizon Innovative Learning School Initiative. We went through an application process. This program is designed for middle schools that are at least 65% free and reduced on lunch, that designation. And we were awarded this opportunity about a year ago, and we've implemented this fall. And we've got some folks here that are going to share a lot more, and I'm just kind of setting the stage. But not only is it a one-to-one device program for our schools, for our students in these schools, but it also provides intensive teacher training, support, and it gives our students an opportunity to engage in a curriculum that's driven by technology and gives a more immersive, engaging curriculum engaging technology into every day in the instruction. So we're really excited about what this is going to mean for our schools. And I'll let these folks share more about the details. But I'll be amiss if I don't go back about a year and a half ago. Dr. Emery, this all started with Dr. Emery sending me a quick email about, hey, Kevin, what do you think about this Verizon program? Should we give this a shot? And so I have to give her credit for having the foresight there. And I said, well, we have nothing to lose. Let's look at this. And we dug into the application process. And in our technology department, we work as a team a lot. But I have to give credit to Marty Creech. He's here with us tonight. Marty took the application process, ran with it. It was an extensive application process. We had several interviews from folks all over the country coming to look at our schools, come to interview us. And so my hat's off to Marty for making this happen for our district, and he deserves the recognition for making this happen. But with further ado, I'm going to bring Marty up, and he's going to recognize some principals and some teachers from the schools. Go ahead, Tom.
Good evening, Chairwoman Woodbury,
Good evening.
Board of Education, Dr. Emery. I'm here to share some exciting news. This has been a very, very exciting initiative for these 4 schools and for our school district in general. The 4 schools that were selected were East Forsyth Middle, and you're going to hear from a teacher from East Forsyth Middle tonight. Northwest Middle, you're going to hear from the principal there, and Winston-Salem Prep Academy and Philo Hill Magnet Academy. And we were really excited to have these schools involved in this because a lot of the students there do not have access at home. We throw the word one-to-one, give every kid a device, and it's going to change the world. Technology is not going to do that. This initiative is really exciting to me because, number one, it gives students access at home. Every student in those 4 schools have access at home because of the 4G that comes on the iPads with it. Okay, but still, that's just the technology. The other thing that excites me is the ongoing professional development that Verizon is providing and our district is providing these schools. And then the greatest piece to me is the ongoing support as far as a digital teaching and learning coach at each of those schools to help the teachers one-on-one, because that is truly important when we're talking about making a transition and trying to make change in what we do in the teaching profession, is really having that ongoing support. I'm going to talk briefly. These are the 8 major goals of the Verizon Innovative Learning Schools. The initiative outcomes: increase student achievement, increase engagement, tech and STEM proficiency, increase STEM interest, problem-solving skills, collaboration skills, communication skills, and confidence. So with that said, these are some lofty goals, and when we, hopefully by the end of the 2-year initiative, possibly 3 years, we will have achieved these outcomes. With that said, all that we've done so far is 6 weeks of working with the teachers and getting them used to their own iPads. They actually got them at the end of last school year, had them all over the summer, just so that some teachers, it was their first experience with an iPad. Then we started working with students, and we spent 6 weeks on just digital citizenship. And every classroom in every one of those buildings had something to do with the digital citizenship curriculum. And when we were ready, we had big rollout days for those schools. The rollouts, parents came in, they signed up, got the kids rocking and rolling ready for the device so that they would go into the classroom the next day and the teachers were ready to use it. Now, if you go into those schools, sometimes, I'm not going to get geeky on you with technology integration, you're going to see it, you're going to see some teachers using it as a glorified worksheet, but you're going to see some really cool things happening before too long, where they're going to let kids start creating different products of learning instead of just the boring test and multiple choice tests. So I'm really, really excited, and I'm not going to go any further because I have a principal here who can speak about their school, and we have a teacher here that can talk about their classroom. So Frida Smith from Northwest Middle School, and Sandy Holt is her coach.
Good evening. Good evening to the board. Congratulations to all our new members. I'm the proud principal of one of the greatest schools in the United States of these Americas, and that's Northwest Middle School. I'm also the proud principal of the year of this fine district. So it's an honor to be here. But as Marty approached Dr. Emery, you know, Marty had to approach somebody else, right? So one of those principals that he approached was me. So Marty is he's gun-hoed and he's very convincing. So it's like, Frida, what do you think about this? I'm like, okay, let's try it. Little did I know that I had to provide a resume. I had to be interviewed by a panel of people. People from out of the state had to come and see what was happening at Northwest Middle School to find out about the Northwest Way. So I can't say that I regret all that. It's a whole new world. It has opened up a whole new opportunity for students and also teachers at our school. It allows them the opportunity to assess students intentionally and also more effectively. It allows teachers to personalize instruction for students. We're seeing a lot of great things in our schoolhouse. At Northwest this year, we have morning time, and we call it taking advantage of every moment. So Verizon Initiative provides a math program, which we really need to focus on. With that math program, there's a program called ST Math. And what that does, it fills in some gaps that teachers may not necessarily get to fill. So we have started that program on Monday and Tuesday. Without the iPads that all of our students have, for the most part, it wouldn't be possible. On Thursday and Friday, we have another program in the morning where we focus on ELA. And we use two programs. We use an UpSmart program and a program called Edgenuity. UpSmart is a program that fills in those gaps. Edgenuity is a program that allows students to be focused on grade level content. Without the Verizon Initiative, it's highly unlikely that those type opportunities would be possible. So Ms. Hope is our Verizon instructional coach. She's done a great job. I can't keep up with her. I need rollerblades to do so, but she serves students and teachers, and we're always looking for ways to improve at Northwest Middle School, and we look forward to continuing to increase growth at our school, proficiency, and the lives of all students that I'm given an opportunity to serve. So thank you so much.
Next up, we have Corey Moffatt. She's a math 7th grade teacher at East Forsyth Middle School, and with her is her coach, Allie Coe, and her principal, Dulcie Petit.
Good evening. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm excited that I get to share the teacher perspective about this amazing program that we have at East Forsyth Middle School. Our rollout began on October the 6th, and since that time, my classroom culture has changed. To incorporate iPads into our daily routine, iPads are not just used in instruction every day. Paper and pencil are still used in my math classroom, okay? When the iPads are out, you can feel the student engagement in my room. It's electric. I have that teacher radar. I can tell that they are actively engaged. It's a switch, and you know that they are enjoying how they're learning. We also use the ST Math program like Northwest does, and the conceptual understanding that that program brings to our students is amazing. It doesn't even have instructions. You put it in front of the student, and they're actually manipulating it, and they're doing it backwards. They're figuring out how to do it, and honestly, I've been given it as well, and I have to figure out how to use it, which is a really good thing to do. Additionally, in our classroom, we use iPads to complete gizmos, which are like online labs that are hands-on. We just completed one on geometric probability, and it was throwing darts in a little area, and they can manipulate how many different times they threw the dart. We can't actually do that at school, but that was really something neat to see, that they could actually change the probability outcome. So it was a lab that they could experience. It was real time, and they actually could do it at home if they didn't finish it in class, which is a great asset of having these iPads. I also have used PowerSchool Learning Platform as a reflective tool since receiving the iPads, in which students interact with me and others on a discussion board. Similar to Blackboard, like you remember in college, I post a discussion and they respond to me. Actually, I'm using it this week during the snow days. They've had snow work this week. I have put videos up for them. I have gotten several emails like, why am I getting homework from you? I said, snow work. It's not homework, it's snow work. But the communication is amazing. I'm getting emails from children that don't feel like they can come to me during class and ask for help. They can send me a little picture of their homework assignment. I got step 1, 2, and 3. What's step 4 and 5? I don't understand. So also accountability. They have access to Power Teacher, my Power Gradebook, every day, 24/7. I put something in, you wouldn't believe how many emails I get. When is tutoring? Because they know that they could have done better. So I'm connected, they're accountable. I am so grateful for this opportunity to be in this program with Verizon. It's amazing for the school, and we're so excited. We encourage you to come out and see us and see how we're interacting with these iPads. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you. We're being very intentional with what we're doing with technology, trying to have a bigger presence in the instructional process. And this program closes the digital divide for some of these families that do not have connectivity at home. So immediately for the next 2 years, possibly 3 if they extend this based on how the program's evaluated, that helps with the connectivity in the homes. But any questions about the program? We're just getting started, and we're looking forward to some great success. But any questions?
So the floor is open for any of the board members that have any discussion, comments, or questions.
Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know approximately what percentage of coverage of the gap is actually being met with this current grant?
As far as the achievement gap?
Oh, as in the gap of internet coverage.
Oh, internet coverage. These schools are in the inner city, so they all have a strong Verizon footprint, and I haven't heard of any signal issues as far as the families that live in those residential areas. It's been very strong with
It's
Verizon.
relying on hotspots rather than just the 4G.
No, we're relying on 4G from the iPads. They do have hotspot capability they can turn on in their homes and connect other devices to it though as well. Any additional questions about the program?
No question, but a comment. I want to say thank you, Marty, for bringing this to the schools that are now going to implement it. And I would like to say that this is an awesome opportunity for students. When students have technology, they are more engaged, and it does help to increase proficiency, and the personalized learning that takes place is so valuable. So thank you so much.
We've touched just over 2,300 students are part of this program, so we're very excited about it.
So, Mr. Sherrill, I think I shared with you earlier that I spent the last 5 years of my life in Guilford County Schools with a one-to-one initiative through the PACE grant, and I thought I would leave education after those 5 years. We gave every middle school child in Guilford County Schools a Chromebook, and of course all of the middle school teachers, and the training and just the facilitation of such an awesome initiative was, challenging yet rewarding. And so I applaud you for the work that you're doing, and I definitely want to extend myself. I definitely will be coming out to the schools to see what's going on with that, because now I'm definitely a wannabe geek based on my experiences previously in Guilford County with the one-to-one piece. But I do want to ask you just a couple of questions, just because of probably my background with operating an initiative like this previously. So, of course, as I was looking at the Verizon Innovation Learning Grant information, I noticed that Verizon definitely highlights that when students are part of this initiative, we see a definitive increase with math and reading scores. And so I wanted to know if we're starting to try and track that with the grant that we're using here.
Do you want to talk about the evaluation process? With Digital Promise, where there's a stringent evaluation process that we'll be following, and Marty can expand upon that.
So the evaluation process is outside of the whole initiative, so we're not going to see results from that. So it's not going to affect what we're doing. One of the things that we've done to involve kids already is that every school has a tech team, and we've tried to pick, it was an application process at every school, and those are our frontline students that are working on iPads, that are helping with logistics and learning more about the technology fields. And that's been a great opportunity at the schools, and the kids are absolutely loving that responsibility, and they're learning that piece. So that's our first major involvement. One of the pieces that we would like to get to is the student tracking of what she's talking about with the Power School Learning and being involved in, like, I need tutoring. One of the things we did at Carver High School and with personalized learning is we started with mastery learning and letting kids work at their own progression and really tracking. And that's the kind of involvement we'd love to get to. But right now we're really, I'm at the substitution and augmentation, geeky tech integration talk. You asked,
Yeah.
I'm really wanting teachers just to get comfortable using them in the classroom, students responsible, how to turn things in, how to manipulate pieces with it. So that's where we're at right now.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with us. I would lastly just like to push something that I think by way of looking at the Verizon Innovation Learning Grant, and if we also take into consideration the North Carolina theory of action with ESSA in trying to make sure every student is on their own personalized path, I think we need to, push that Hour of Code initiative. I don't know if you all have heard that. I think it would really mesh well with what we're doing with the Verizon Innovation Grant. Are you familiar with the Hour of Code initiative?
Yes, ma'am, and we really would love it to be just a year of code where kids are just doing it. Like, it's just part of what we are and what we're doing. With a lot of the tech teams, we've started with coding just so that we can get used to that program. Our CTE department wrote a different grant and in 7 of our schools we have a coding program now, so it's a full CTE course on coding. So that was really exciting to me, knowing that our kids are going to start using Scratch in the 6th grade and all, and then we're going to integrate it throughout the school system.
Yeah, and the Hour of Code program, if the audience doesn't know, it's an international free project that is hosted by some of the most, ingenious folk as it relates to innovation, and it really has a strong intention to connect minorities and females to technology and innovation. And I think that definitely the more that we can, make sure our students are engaged with what we call now the new knowledge of the new language of the 21st century, which is coding, the better off we will all be. So I, again, appreciate all of the work that you're doing with this Verizon Innovation Learning Grant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
So we're going to move on to the consent agenda items. On the consent agenda, we have 2 items, the approval of the meeting minutes for the November 27th, 2018 board meeting, and the approval of the general personnel report. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay, so the motion has been moved and approved, and it has been seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Oh, who made the motion initially? Deanna Kaplan made the motion initially, and the second came from Board Member Burke. We will move on to the, did you get the vote? Okay, thank you. We will move on to the next order of business, which is the meeting open to the public. Is there a list of folk that have signed up? First, we have Kelly Easton, and I would just, as Ms. Easton is coming up, just reiterate the 3-minute time limit, and that we will, of course, go through the folks that have signed up by way of the order that we see it here. Is Kelly Easton? Okay. Thank you. Is Katie Sona Lee available? Okay.
Oh, is my time already started? Okay. Usually you don't do that yet. Okay.
We'll
Hi.
give it back to you. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Katie Sonnenly. I'm here representing Action for Equity. First of all, I just want to say congratulations
Thank
to Ms.
you.
Woodbury, Ms. Burke. I am so excited to have you all as the chair and vice chair.
and to all the members, to have you all on board is great. What we're passing around is a statement of what we are hoping we can move towards, which is more equity in our school system this year, in the next 4 years while you all are here on the board. In addition, there is a pamphlet, a flyer about a racial equity training that's coming up that we would love for y'all to go to. Action for Equity seeks to advocate for equity for students in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County schools in academic achievement, access to high-quality instruction, and safe and healthy school environments for every child. We believe these goals will help build a more effective and stronger community here in Forsyth County. We ask the school board to immediately act upon the following recommendations to advance equity in our schools.
Thank you for joining us on Your School Channel, Cable 2.